It's clear and cool in San Diego. Our first look at these new-look Padres as we renew this NL West rivalry with 3 here in the Gaslamp District for our first road trip of the season. Petco Park, the place for what is now the hottest ticket in town here. The D-backs won the season series last year, but it's a different ball club now on both sides. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Petco Park and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Perfume and Bob Brenly along the way. It's the first of 3 here, the D-backs and the Padres. And if you don't recognize any of the San Diego players, well, we won't blame you. They have a new GM, A.J. Preller. This winter, he made 10 trades involving 38 players, signed 4 free agents, and as a result, Bob, 15 players who were not on their opening day roster last year are now on the ball club this year.
And some very big baseball names, if you will. You know, talking about the moves, the Padres had a 24-hour period this winter from December 18th to December 19th. They made 30 transactions. We keep track of all the stats in baseball, and that's the most ever in the history of the game.
Well, we definitely keep track of wins. Ruby De La Rosa had a victory in his Diamondbacks debut Tuesday at Chase Field against the Giants, and he's on the mound tonight for his second Diamondback start. What does he do well?
Well, he has a great straight changeup, but of course the changeup is only effective if you can spot your fastball. That's the grip you see on the straight changeup. The index finger and the thumb form a circle. He throws it off his middle and ring finger. Really good tailing, sinking action, really good arm action on that changeup, but he needs to command the fastball in order to have that be an effective pitch for him.
And he throws a big fastball. It gets up there into the upper 90s, close to 100, and when he's got that changeup working, he can be a real handful. So it's De La Rosa versus Andrew Cashner. Jake Lamb is back in the lineup for the Diamondbacks, and first pitch is on the way from Petco Park in San Diego. Diamondbacks baseball next here on Fox Sports Arizona. Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich.
Fans heading into Petco Park to see the Padres and Diamondbacks here on this Monday night. Jody Jackson with you as we get you set here for first pitch on Fox Sports Arizona. This Diamondbacks team during opening week, we've really seen a great mix of the veterans and young players sharing information. Those veterans are mentoring these young guys, and when the guys aren't in the starting lineup, there is that information that is shared in the dugout. For example, Jake Lamb, left-handed hitter, he sat on opening day against Madison Bumgarner, and he also sat against Clayton Kershaw and Brett Anderson in the Dodgers series. But while he was in the dugout, he spent that time gathering information, and on opening night, he talked with Cliff Pennington during the game, and when he got his chance, well, it paid off in a big way.
Talking about hitting, approach, and things you think about with different pitchers, and it's one of those things like the game just flew by because we were so locked into this conversation, and so things like that, we were having that same conversation opening day too, and it just so happens took the approach that we were talking about against Romo that night and had a base or a double, and so it's just conversations like that on the bench that are fun.
Fun and productive. Jake did have that 3-run double that night. He is in the lineup tonight, and he will be most likely against the string of right-handed pitchers. Coming up, the Diamondbacks will face off against the new-look Padres. It takes some getting used to. Guys like Justin Upton and Matt Kemp in the blue. The first pitch comes your way next.
Back at Petco Park, Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, Jody Jackson with you. Diamondbacks 12 wins in 19 meetings with the Padres last season. But Chip Hale, the new D-back skipper, faces an entire new team for the San Diego Padres. The first of 3 meetings here at Petco Park this week. And on the mound for San Diego, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher, the 28-year-old right-hander Andrew Kashner. For a scouting report, here's Paul Goldschmidt.
He's got really, really good stuff out there. I mean, he knows how to pitch. He uses his fastball, slider, really good changeup as well. In the curveball, he's got 4 pitches. Obviously throws hard. I think, no matter who's on the mound, you just try to get a good pitch to hit. And, as a hitter, you're mostly going to hit mistakes from the pitcher. And if he's making his pitches, it's going to be tough. If you fall behind, you're going to have to battle sometimes, try to foul some tough pitches. But just try to have good at-bats, get some guys on base, hopefully keep the pressure on him.
Cashner had a rough time of things in his first start this year at Dodger Stadium last week. Adrian Gonzalez homered off Cashner 3 times.
According to all reports, people that are close to the Padres say Cashner was just a little overamped for that start and took some of the movement off his two-seam fastball, made some mistakes right in the middle of the plate. And you see he also throws the slider, the straight changeup, a plus pitch for him.
Ender Inciarte playing center field in the leadoff spot. The numbers on Cashner. 8 hits, 3 of them Gonzalez home runs. A.J. Pollock has the night off, so it's Inciarte leading off playing center field, and we are underway for the first time this year here in San Diego. There's strike 1 to Inciarte. Ender 348 on the year. He's got 6 hits in his last 4 games, including Friday's walk-off winner that beat the Dodgers. In fact, Inciarte, going back to last season, has now hit safely in 20 of his last 22 games.
Had a great batting practice session today off of bench coach Glenn Sherlock. Got to say it all the time. It doesn't always translate into a good game at the plate once they play the national anthem, but he was working on in and out, having Sherles throw the ball in, then throw it away, throw it in, throw it away, working on some things, and really put together a couple good rounds of batting practice.
Nobody is busier pregame than Glenn Sherlock, that's for sure. And when he has some downtime, he had a moment this afternoon. He and Andy Green went running. So he's really busy. Oh. He said, "Do you want to go?" I said, "I don't think so." And he said, "Come on, it only hurts if you let it."
Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I went and had a hot dog instead.
There you go.
Yeah, see, that's my pregame ritual. There's Andy Green, the third base coach. Shot the other way. That one is going to drop in foul ground right near Justin Upton in left field. This is the lineup for Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks.
A little bit of a different look tonight with Ender Inciarte playing center field, leading off. Chris Owings at shortstop. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. David Peralta in left field. Mark Trumbo out in right. Jake Lamb at third base. Aaron Hill playing second base tonight, with Tuffy Gosuish doing the catching for Ruby De La Rosa.
And we will talk throughout this series about the defense with San Diego. That is the big question mark regarding this ball club. Will Myers is the center fielder. He is shaded well over toward left center for Inciarte on a 1-2 count. Chopper up the first base line. That's a foul ball. Adam Hamari, our plate umpire tonight, out in front of that one.
You mentioned Myers shading way over in the gap in left center, and Justin Upton in the left field kind of cheating toward the foul line on that side of the field. However, Andrew Cashner pitching Ender Inciarte inside.
Turn on one and pull it down the line.
Find that gap or find that right field foul line and run all night.
You can see Myers middle of your screen there, top of the picture, well over in front of that giant new scoreboard here at Petco Park, which I have to say is spectacular. They did a wonderful job with that thing. It is gorgeous. There it is, brand new here at Petco Park this year. Another 1-2 from Andrew Cashner.
There he goes.
Let's take a look at the new look Padres around Andrew Cashner. This is their defensive look.
Some familiar names in a different place. Justin Upton in left, Will Myers in center, Matt Kemp over in right field. It would be Middlebrooks and Amarista on the left side of the infield. Solarte and Alonso on the right side as Inciarte takes a called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. Derek Norris doing the catching for Andrew Cashner.
After he got hammered by Gonzalez 3 times, Cashner said the goal tonight, be better and mix in more off speed stuff if he's not locating his fastball. He's always been a hard throwing power pitcher, and as Bob showed you earlier, he's got a slider, he's got some other things he could use. And so we'll check the mix tonight. Chris Owings in the 2-hole, and in there at shortstop, which is something new.
Yeah, hoping to get CO untracked, moving him up in the lineup a little bit, hitting in front of Goldie tonight.
Owings got into the hit column yesterday against the Dodgers with a pinch hit double, part of that D-backs 9th inning comeback, and there's Goldie on deck.
A chance to see quite a bit of Andrew Cashner coming up through the Cubs organization, and he was one of those young pitchers that if he got in trouble, he was just going to rear back and throw harder, and most of the time it was good enough. He could blow it by minor league hitters.
Just like that, 95.
Well,
2 batters, 2 strikeouts.
At the big league level, there are going to be guys that can turn around 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. He had to find ways to get guys out without max effort, and he's done a much better job mixing in that 2-seamer, mixing in the straight changeup and the slider.
Paul Goldschmidt off to a .333 start, 6 RBIs in 6 games, including 2 home runs. Goldie 0 for 4 yesterday with a pair of strikeouts. He is only 3 hits shy of 500 for the career, and good career numbers against Cashner.
Mixing in a couple sliders here in the early going. Yeah, much like Ruby De La Rosa, that's a pitch that will kind of come and go for Andrew Cashner. At times he's got a real good one that he can throw on that outside corner of the plate. At other times he just cannot command it at all, and that's when he pretty much sticks it in his back pocket and just goes fastball, changeup.
Well, after striking out Inciarte and Owings to open the ball game, he's behind 3 balls and no strikes on Goldie. Ball 4.
Almost looked like a pitch around in the first inning. It just looked like he didn't want to give Goldie much to hit here. 2 quick outs and then a 4-pitch walk.
And a 2-out base runner for David Peralta. 2 hits and 11 at bats on the year. And David back in the cleanup spot. He was there yesterday against LA. 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Back to firing strikes. 16 pitches so far for Cashner, 11 strikes. Peralta, a good year last year against the Padres. He hit safely in 9 of 10 versus San Diego.
Checking on Goldie over there at first base. He always finds a way to get involved in the action, and he's done that in his first couple series this year. 3 for 9 against the Giants, and in the 3 games with the Dodgers, 4 for 12, drove in 6.
And there goes Goldie off with a pitch, and he will take it easily. A stolen base for Paul Goldschmidt, his 2nd this year. Not even a throw from Derek Norris back there behind the plate.
Well, you can tell when a guy gets a jump like that, there is no upside in throwing to second base. Only bad things can happen. Throw it into center field, the middle infielder drops it. Goldie had that stolen easily.
Is Norris a guy they can run on a lot?
In the past, he's had some issues throwing. A couple of years ago in Oakland, threw out only 17% of the opposing base stealers. So far this year, 3 out of 7, doing a much better job.
RBI spot now for Peralta. Took something off there, and it's 2-2, the changeup.
Now, Derek Norris's defense tends to shadow his offense. If he's swinging the bat well, he gets involved, he gets plugged in behind the plate. If he's not swinging the bat well, occasionally he gets disinterested behind the plate.
Padres in the defensive overshift for Peralta. 3 infielders on the right-hand side. Nice block there to keep it in front, and it's full, 3-2.
You know, of all the changes the Padres had this offseason, I think the fact that they have 2 completely new catchers. I mean, usually you either keep the backup or your starting catcher from year to year just so there's some continuity with the pitching staff and the pitching coach, but 2 new guys behind the dish. Will Nieves, the backup catcher to Derek Norris here in San Diego this year.
And 3 if you count Tim Fedorovich, who they acquired from the Dodgers but is on the DL. Peralta drops it into left. Upton makes a nice sliding catch. Justin Upton has it. And that one saved a run. Hold on, Chip Hale thinking about a challenge. Then Sherlock on the phone with Alan Campbell. And it looks like the signal is catch and there will be no challenge. So Justin Upton slides in with 2 outs. and saves a run, keeps the D-backs off the board. We are underway in San Diego. A win in his D-backs debut Tuesday at Chase Field against the Giants. He went 5 1/3, allowed 6 runs on 8 hits. The ability to throw consistent strikes has been something that has eluded Ruby along the course of his development. We saw some of that on Tuesday. 92 pitches, 56 for strikes, hoping for tonight more efficiency and more command.
Just find that zone. Work from the middle out. We've talked about Jeremy Hellickson and Chase Anderson, some of the guys that have to nibble around the edges of the strike zone. Ruby's got good enough stuff. He needs to attack the middle of the strike zone early in the ball game, establish it, he'll throw strikes, and then start to expand the zone.
Will Myers, the new center fielder, leads it off. The former Royal and Ray, the American League Rookie of the Year 2 seasons ago. He'd hit in 5 straight games after taking an 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts on opening day in LA against Clayton Kershaw. Myers' streak was snapped when he struck out in his only at bat in yesterday's Padres win over the Giants here at Petco Park.
You notice Will Myers doesn't use batting gloves, so he's got tape all over the blisters on his bare hands as he's up there leading off the game for the Padres.
He's got that old school thing going. And Will Myers, even though he's already with his 3rd organization at the age of 24, has been considered one of baseball's potential stars for several seasons now. By Glenn Hoffman at 3rd. Let's take a look at Bud Black's new look lineup for the San Diego Padres.
Now we're looking at Will Myers. He'll play center field. Solarte at second base. Matt Kemp, the former Dodger, out in right field. Great career numbers against the D-backs. Justin Upton, the former Diamondback, in left field with Derek Norris doing the catching. Yonder Alonso at first base. Will Middlebrooks at third. The shortstop for the Padres is Alexi Amarista, and Andrew Cashner, the right-hander, on the mound.
Ruby De La Rosa trying to make it 2 wins and 2 starts as a D-back. Trying to get on the same page with Tuffy Gozawish. This is the arsenal for the Diamondback right-hander.
And when he's on top of his game, he can get by with just the 4-seam, 2-seam fastball and the straight changeup. The slider he will mix in, especially to the right-handed hitters.
Put it right on the outer half there, but Myers stayed alive. And already an 8-pitch at bat against Ruby. Myers 2 years ago with Tampa Bay, hit .293, 13 home runs in half a season, and won the Rookie of the Year award. An injury-plagued season last year with Tampa Bay. 2-2.
And Will Myers has yet to draw a walk in the early going here of the 2015 season. I'd like to see that changeup in the dirt right there on the 1-2 count. Ruby has a tendency to throw that changeup for swinging strikes, but occasionally you get a guy like Myers that just fouls off pitch after pitch after pitch. Throw one in the dirt, see if you can get him to chase that too.
Gets that one high in the air, left field. Peralta gets up in that thick, cool air here, and it dies shy of the warning track for out number 1. Take a look at the Diamondbacks around Ruby De La Rosa.
Tough sky right now here in San Diego, as David Peralta really had to battle to catch that skyscraper pop up. Ender Inciarte in center, Mark Trumbo in right. It'll be Jake Lamb, Chris Owings, Aaron Hill, and Paul Goldschmidt third to first across the infield. Duffy Gosowich doing the catching for right-hander Ruby De La Rosa.
Yeah, cool night here. You're going to have to get all of it to get it out of this ballpark. On Hervey Solarte. There it is, Petco Park in San Diego. There. Go ahead, Bob.
By all reports, this place was rocking over the weekend. Over 40,000 for each one of the 4 games against the Giants. And San Diego's always been a really good baseball town when the team merits the fans coming out here to watch. And I think everybody in San Diego is excited about this Padres team.
Center field, Inciarte makes a nice running catch for the second out. Yeah, the Padres come into this series riding a 3-game winning streak. They just played a 4-game set against the Giants in this ballpark. They won the last 3, and they drew more than 168,000 fans here, the highest attended series in Petco Park history. And here comes the red-hot Matt Kemp. He acquired a lot of guys here, but this was the headliner, and he is off to a terrific start, batting nearly .370. With 4 extra base hits, still looking for his first home run as a Padre.
And the concern with Kemp is, when will he have his first DL stint as a member of the Padres?
And the new GM, A.J. Preller, there he is. He was John Daniels' right-hand man in Texas, helped build that Ranger organization. And we told you about his busy winter. 10 trades involving 38 players, signed 4 free agents. And they might still be going. There's some thought here they could use a shortstop. There's some thought they could use another left-hand arm in the bullpen as Matt Kemp walks that one off. Well, you just said it.
Yeah,
when does the
put the whammy on him? That one went right down the left ankle, off the top of the foot, trying to walk it off. Finally, the trainer comes out of that first base dugout to give him a look.
Well, Kemp showed over the second half of last season in L.A. that he was finally healthy and ready to return to his previous performance levels, because after the All-Star break last year, he just started crushing fastballs again. And he hit .309 with 17 home runs. And in the second half of last year, drove in 54 runs in 64 games. 0-2. Lifts that in the air, very shallow right field, Mark Trumbo. And Ruby De La Rosa gets 3 fly ball outs. We are through 1-no score at Petco Park. Sports 1 is back with back-to-back AL East showdowns. The Orioles and the Red Sox, followed by the Yankees and the Rays. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. on America's Home for Baseball every Saturday, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Mark Trumbo leads off the Diamondbacks second against Andrew Cashner. Strike one, says Adam Hamari behind the plate. Mark following a day off on Sunday and a pair of hits in Saturday's win over the Dodgers. .250 to start the year. Base hit. Mark Trumbo belts one into left. Leadoff man's aboard. Here comes Jake Lamb.
Nice quick swing by Mark Trumbo, off to a great start this season physically. He's in good shape. He's running the bases well, swinging the bat well, feeling pretty good about himself.
Such a different guy than the one we saw this time last year when he was hobbling around on that bad foot that started out as plantar fasciitis and turned into a stress fracture. Jake Lamb, 4 hits and 11 at bats to start the year. And again, Cashner throws strike one. That includes his 3-run pinch hit double a week ago on opening day. And that 3-run homer in game 2 against the Giants. So 7 RBIs through his first 2 games. And he's in there at 364. Chip Hale said over the weekend he wants Jake Lamb to get most of the starts over at third base. And so in order to get Aaron Hill the playing time that Chip thinks Aaron deserves, instead of playing Hill at third like he'd been doing last week and like he originally planned, he will now use a 3-man rotation in the middle infield with Hill and Chris Owings and Nick Ahmed. Nick is off tonight. And that means Owings is back to spending some time at shortstop, where he is in there tonight. And that's something that Chip said he originally really didn't want to do, but he believes it's something he's now just going to have to do to keep working Aaron Hill into the mix to get him some at-bats.
And once again speaks to the versatility that Chip has on this roster, guys that can play more than one position. You rotate them around, try to keep everybody fresh, make sure everybody gets enough at-bats, and certainly if somebody emerges and really takes a stranglehold on the job, they'll get most of the playing time.
And we've certainly seen plenty of Chris Owings at shortstop, and CO is certainly solid down there. Nick Ahmed has been terrific defensively. But this is a bat in Jake Lamb that you want to have in there, especially from the left-hand side, when you can get that right-left mix going. Reaches down and pops it up, and that one drops in. Well, that's not the hardest base hit Jake Lamb will ever have in his career, but he'll take it. 2 singles to open up the Diamondbacks second.
Well, they say they all even out over the course of the season. If that's the case, Jake Lamb's going to hit a line drive at somebody pretty soon for an out, but just a defensive swing here, trying to foul the ball off. Actually got a big piece of it and looped it out there into no man's land in shallow left.
When you have Jake Lamb in there, it lengthens the order, and we've talked about the need for some offense in the 6 through 9 spots, but you can also go right, left with Goldie, Peralta, Trumbo, Lamb, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a nice heart of the order there. Aaron Hill.
And another righty in Aaron Hill tonight following Jake Lamb. You love that kind of a balanced lineup. It makes it very tough for the opposing manager to play matchups late in the ballgame.
Andrew Cashner, 6 of 7 first pitch strikes so far. Aaron 4 for 18 on the year. And tonight making his second start of the season at second base. Yes, he went. Bill Miller, the crew chief, down there at first. It's 0-2.
That fractured hand, that couldn't have felt good trying to check like that. I mean, it's been a while and he's healed and 100%, but that check swing really puts a lot of torque on your wrist.
Derek Norris hangs on to the foul tip. That's 3 strikeouts for Cashner.
And Norris sets up away. Cashner hangs a slider up and in. But Aaron came up empty.
One down for Tuffy Gozawish. And with the exception of one game, Tuffy has had a base hit in every game he started this year. Back there behind the plate tonight, another strike one from Cashner.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
We got the pitcher spot coming up next. See if Tuffy can bang one through in this AB. Bounced in a hole at second. Solarte throws it away. And here comes Trumbo. He will score. 1-0 D-backs. Jake Lamb gets in at third, and Gozawish is standing at second.
Alonso backpedaling to the base at first, got stretched out toward second base, and then the throw was to his right. He couldn't make any kind of an adjustment whatsoever. That'll be a poor throw and an error on Solarte at second base, but Alonso didn't do him any favors.
That's a 2-base error, E4 on Yangervis Solarte, so they're on second and third, 1 out. The infield comes in for Ruby De La Rosa, who looks at ball 1. Cashner will be consistent mid-90s with that fastball. Andy Green at third. Alonso on the grass at first. Will Middlebrooks even with a bag at third. Corners crash. That one misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. 97 that time.
Yeah, Ruby showing bunt early and then pulling the bat back. Unless he's actually going to bunt, I would suggest staying in a hitting position against a guy that throws 95 to 98. Might throw off your timing a little bit if you're showing bunt and then try to get back into a hitting position while he's uncorking a heater.
Not a lot of time to think about it.
No.
Infield with the toes on the edge of the grass. Swings at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Cashner, 28 years old, now in his 5th season with the Padres. Ender Inciarte would be next. Got him. 4 strikeouts for Cashner. That one at 97, 2 down. Ender Inciarte struck out looking his first time. The Padres staff was expected to be a strength of the team, and so far they have not disappointed. Through 6 games, San Diego starters have totaled 42 strikeouts. That's second in the major leagues behind only the Cleveland Indians. And Cashner through 1 2/3 here has 4 strikeouts already.
Now, this is a starting rotation that can rack up some big strikeout totals with Tyson Ross and James Shields. Andrew Cashner, the guy on the mound.
Shields has already started twice for San Diego. He's put up 15 strikeouts, second highest in the league behind only Max Scherzer. Ball 1 to Ender. 2-out single to go a long way right here. You've got Lamb at third and Gozawish at second. Two and 0.
This would be an opportunity for Ender Inciarte to look for a fastball middle of the plate in and try to turn on it. We talked about the defensive alignment for the Padres against him. They give him a lot of room in right center and down that line in right.
Gets it in the air to left. Justin Upton backing up at the track, and that ball's off the base of the wall. Lamb scores. Tuffy scores. A 2-run double for Ender Inciarte, and it's 3-0 D-backs. Big 2-out hit right there.
Well, it wasn't the 2 RBI single you were looking for, but we'll take it.
You betcha.
Wow, showing some opposite field power that time. He did get the fastball he was looking for, but it was up and out over the plate. And as we've seen him do so many times, Ender just goes with it. But the power, a little surprising. Banged that one off the wall out there in left field and hustles into second with a 2 RBI double.
How big is the Solarte error right now? Second double of the year for Ender. Now got 4 RBIs. Chris Owings. Knocks it into right. It drops in front of Kemp. They'll wave in Ciarte. Here's the throw. It's cut off. CO the RBI single. Another big 2-out hit, and it's 4-0 Diamondbacks.
Keep the line moving. Nice approach by CO that time to go to the opposite field. I'm a little surprised that Andy Green was waving in Ciarte as early as he was. Matt Kemp has always had a very strong throwing arm, but as he gets to this ball out there in right field, he just kind of spikes it back into the infield. Easy score for Ender Inciarte. Easy RBI for Chris Owings.
4th hit in the inning against Andrew Cashner. You throw in the Solarte error, and it adds up to a 4-0 Diamondback lead. Still 2 outs. Here's Goldie. Chip Hale said Ender Inciarte is making it tougher and tougher on him to not write his name in the lineup card every day. Goldie walked and stole a base his first time. There's strike 1. Eighth man to hit in the inning for Arizona. About mixing up the repertoire from Cashner. Did it right there for a strike. It's 0-2. Goldie, after that first inning walk, has now reached base safely in 16 straight games against these Padres. And even though he's never really hit a ton in this ballpark, 26 games at Petco Park, 25 starts. Paul's batting average here just a smidge under 260. Does have 5 home runs in this ballpark. Want to wear down this rotation. 25th pitch of this inning coming up. Ender Inciarte. A 2-out, 2-run double. Chris Owings a 2-out RBI single, and Goldie still alive up there. Creeping up on 50 through 2 innings. Good move right there. CO just back in time.
Cashner's a good athlete, has quick feet out there on the mound. Ender needs to get his uniform dirty. Get back on your belly. That was a lot closer than it had to be over there.
And Owings back safely again. Still 0-2 on Goldschmidt. Dave McKay down there coaching at first. Amarista, one play and it's to first. Goldie beats it out. 3 straight hits for the Diamondbacks, all with 2 outs. And Peralta will be the 9th man to hit in this inning.
Pretty nice play by Amarista, but that's what sets Goldie apart from a lot of other big name sluggers in the game of baseball. He can get the occasional infield hit because he busts it down that line and runs so well for a big man.
Owings at second, Goldschmidt at first, 2 outs. Peralta flied out his first time. In a bid for an RBI single to end the first, and Justin Upton made a nice sliding catch on to take a runaway. But the Diamondbacks have answered with 4 in the second. Nice grab. Wearing the brown hat, always like to see that, BB.
I know you like that brown and mustard.
I will campaign for this franchise to return to those trademark colors. Very iconic. 0-2.
Well, they have the occasional date here at home at Petco where they'll break out the brown and the mustard, but they ought to think about doing what the Diamondbacks are doing at home this year. Throwback Thursdays. They're the purple and teal every Thursday.
All Thursday home games for the Diamondbacks this year will be Throwback Thursdays, and you always see a lot of the brown and gold from the diehards. Cashner bounces another one. 2-2 now with 2 outs, and he's over 50 pitches through 1 2/3. Was the tower at 95. It's full. 3-2.
Well, you look for every advantage you can get in a game, and anytime you get a full count with 2 outs and runners on base, that's a huge advantage. CO and Goldie will both be off with the pitch.
And the Padres in the defensive overshift again for Peralta with 3 infielders on the right-hand side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. There go the runners. It's in the air to left again. Upton still backing up. It's carrying, but he's got it on the warning track. And that's the inning. The Diamondbacks strand 2, but they get 4 in Ciarte and Owings. Big 2-out hits. Bottom second coming up. 4-0 D-backs. A 2-out, 2-run double. Chris Owings, a 2-out RBI single, part of a 4-run Diamondback second. And Bob, the offense, at least early in the ball game, has done its part. Now it's up to Ruby De La Rosa.
Well, the Diamondbacks have shown they're really opportunistic. When they get that leadoff man on this year, and by my unofficial calculations, and I'm horrible at math, they've had the leadoff hitter on in an inning 16 times. 7 of the 16 times they've managed to score runs.
You'll take that percentage?
Oh, absolutely.
Ruby fires strike 1 to Justin Upton, hitting over 300 after his first week as a Padre. He's hit safely in every game this year. That's on a play. It's 0-2. A 7-game hit streak to start the season. 4 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. In fact, Upton Nori Aoki of the Giants and Oakland's Billy Butler, the only players in the majors to reach base safely in 7 games this season. Coincidentally, all 3 playing for new teams this year. And you saw the numbers that Justin has put up against his former team since leaving Arizona. He's hit just under .360 against the Diamondbacks, 10 RBIs in 12 games. Back even 2-2.
Good thing we're playing at a ballpark instead of out in the forest somewhere, because you wouldn't be able to see Justin Upton's hands if we were in the woods. He's got the camo gloves on.
Good look. Just gets a piece of that one. Well, camo is part of the wardrobe at San Diego.
Always has been.
They wore those yesterday, in fact, when they beat the Giants, their 3rd straight win. Bounce to third, right at Jake Lamb, sets and throws. 4 up, 4 down for Ruby. The new Padre catcher, the former Oakland A, it's Derek Norris, who was an all-star last year for the first time in his career. That was with Oakland, traded to San Diego just before Christmas. And off to a very good start, hitting .320 his first week as a Padre. And already with 3 multi-hit games. Fastball started away, leaked back in over the plate for strike 1. Good movement on that pitch. Same spot. Again, back out over the plate. It's a little nubber to the hole. Goldie, the underhand flip to Olorosa covering. And they get Norris.
First base coach John Valentine looking into the dugout immediately after that play was over. Ruby broke for first, then stopped, and then went back over again. He does catch the bag with the heel of that right foot. Yeah, you can see Valentine pointing back in the dugout right there. Check that one. Check that one.
Well, one of the concerns about the Padres, they would be extremely right-handed. And here, sort of like, you know, no man is an island. Well, Yonder Alonso is kind of a left-hand island in this lineup. He's the left-hand bat. And he's off to a good start. A pair of 3-hit games in the Padres' opening series against the Dodgers. He had a 4-game hit streak snapped in their win over the Giants yesterday. And he's at .381 to start the year. Drives one to right center. And it's gone. Yonder Alonso, his first homer for a 1-ball game. And that one was belted.
Visits to San Diego and Petco Park, and the ball doesn't usually carry very well, but we've seen a couple of balls to left field carry extremely well. This one is out of any ballpark, just absolutely mashed.
On to the beach. Will Middlebrooks, the new third baseman. Yonder Alonso. Tremendous start to his season. He has now reached base safely in 13 of his 26 plate appearances. Pretty good on base percentage.
Yeah. Once again, I'm not good at math, but I think that's about 500.
You're right.
Yeah.
You nailed it
50% of the time.
I'm gonna have to move you to the honors class. Get you out of those remedial courses. Yeah. Middlebrooks 259 and a homer. The former Boston Red Sox. And he seems to have already solidified the third base situation in San Diego in the post-Chase Headley era. He was 0 for 4 on opening day in Los Angeles, but he's had at least 1 base hit in every game he started since. a young guy. This is his age 26 season. He'll be 27 in September. Had a big breakthrough rookie season a few years ago in Boston. Has been struggling the last 2 years, mostly because of injuries, but they think he's a good young guy they can build around and hold the fort down there at third for a while. It's 3-2.
Now we talk about Petco Park being a pitcher's paradise. The numbers would bear that out. Last in the majors in runs per game, average on base percentage, and slugging percentage last year. Games played right here at this ballpark.
De La Rosa gets the strikeout, his first of the ball game, but the Padres get a run back on the Alonso homer. We go to the third. D-backs lead at 4-1. Back for Andrew Kashner. He's out there after a 32-pitch second inning. He's thrown 53 already. All 4 runs he's given up have been unearned. That Solarte error in the second proved to be big. And here's Trumbo to lead off the third. Mark Trumbo, Jake Lamb, Aaron Hill, 5, 6, and 7. Mark singled and scored his first time up. Chases that one upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes. Andrew Kashner, 3 starts against the Diamondbacks last season. Did not pitch badly. The ERA of exactly 3. His career 3.5. 12 appearances, 8 starts. Last year 18 innings against Arizona. The ERA right at 3, but his record in those 3 starts 0-2. So he lost some pitchers duels last season against the Diamondbacks, and he strikes out Mark Trumbo. That brings up Jake Lamb. Jake earlier this afternoon at the ballpark having some fun with David Peralta and Ender Inciarte. Jody Jackson was taking a break, so Jake decided to step in and pretend to interview Ender or vice versa. David Peralta, you can see David, all right, stretch, stretch.
David's in communication with the truck, you know.
Yes. And there's Ender Inciarte interviewing Jake Lamb. I don't think those bats are plugged in. Couldn't quite hear them. But you were talking to Mark Trumbo earlier today. That's the kind of thing that we've seen from this group, Bob. It's a loose team that seems to really enjoy each other.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun, early in the afternoon, come out here for early BP. And, they put in a lot of work, and a lot of it is very serious. But they get some yucks in, too. Having a good time, learning their teammates, learning what makes them tick. Boy, that'll pay huge benefits over the course of a long season, because there's going to be peaks and valleys all season long, and the teams that can withstand those valleys, minimize how long they last, and get back up on the peak again is the team that's going to win at the end of the season.
And there's no question there's a group of young veterans, and you look at Aaron Hill and you look at Paul Goldschmidt and Mark Trumbo, that seems to be the group that the rest of the players look up to, that trio. And they mostly lead by example, very quiet, serious guys. As Cashner strikes out Lamb. But there is the veteran leadership presence.
Yeah, we heard Jake Lamb talking about it earlier. On games he doesn't start, sitting on the bench and talking to Cliff Pennington or Aaron Hill, whoever happens to be around, which veteran players. That's invaluable. I mean, when you're facing a pitcher that maybe Jake has never seen before or maybe has limited at-bats against, but then you've got a guy like Aaron Hill sitting there that's faced the guy 35 times in his career. You can learn an awful lot from those veteran guys just based on their experiences.
Around the second on Harvey Solarte. Cashner rebounds with a 1-2-3 third. After that long 32-pitch second, Diamondbacks lead the Padres 4-1.
Royalty here at the ballpark tonight. Jody Jackson alongside Rick Pitino, the only Division I men's basketball coach to take two different schools and win a national championship. Rick, first of all, I know you're enjoying the game. You're wearing the red shirt, which I know is for Louisville, but can we just take that and make it a D-backs red?
You definitely can. I'm just trying to stay warm.
It was a little chilly. I know you just came off an appearance in the tournament, Elite 8, and you're here enjoying a little bit of free time. There's not much, though, in the coaching offseason, is there?
No, we just came off the road, actually, in recruiting, and this is one of my favorite pastimes, going to a baseball game, and I was lucky enough, Derek Hall left me tickets, and was very nice of him, and I really enjoy coming to the park and just watching baseball.
Well, we enjoy you here tonight wearing the red. We'll call it Sedona red tonight. We were just talking, and I know that was a very difficult loss to Michigan State, and you were just saying that was one of your two all-time, gut-wrenching losses.
Well, two of them both came in the Elite 8. One was Christian Laettner, of course, which has been shown on television 1,000 times. But we had a layup. The ball was in the rim, circled out, and then we had two free throws. We make the first and missed the second with a Final Four on the line. But that happens in basketball. You got to give credit to Michigan State. They moved on and we didn't, and as always, next year.
I love the ring, though. We have to take. Can we hold that up and kind of see it? It sparkles. But I said that's your Louisville championship. You can't wear the Kentucky one, right?
No, not in Louisville. But the third base coach is an academic All-American. Andy was an academical American at UK, and he's the third base coach of the Diamondbacks, and certainly we're real proud of him.
Did you get a chance to speak to him during the game?
Yes, he came up, and UK alumni are always everywhere. They have the greatest following in college basketball. We make the most money in college basketball, and Kentucky's got the greatest following.
Well, I know you said you enjoy watching a little bit of baseball. For you, I have to ask, did you ever play the game of baseball?
I did. I played it since I was a youngster, and I'm a Yankee fan growing up. I'm a Miami Marlins season ticket holder.
All right, very nice. My hometown, Miami. I know your son coached at FIU, so I'll let you go. I know you guys, he's a rising star in the coaching world, so it's fun to play against him too, right?
I hope so. I've supported him long enough, so I hope he's a rising star.
All right, Rick, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
All right, guys, send it back up to you.
Thank you, Coach. Ruby De La Rosa with a fastball. Mid-90s up and in, and Andrew Kashner just glared back at the mound there.
A couple of pitches up and in this sequence.
Breaking ball diving away, and he bangs it into center for a one-out single. Brings up Will Myers. Well, I go back Rick Pitino, BB. That 86-87 Providence College Friar team, for me, that was the Pitino team for me growing up in New England. It had Billy Donovan as the point guard, Delray Brooks and Marty Conlon, guys like that. When they went to the Final Four, the PC Friars back in 86-87, that is when Rick Pitino really made a name for himself. Will Myers flying out his first time.
Rick Pitino is just glad he doesn't have to wear the uniform that his team wears as he patrols the sideline for Louisville. His shorts and a tank top.
Don't get me started on the basketball uniforms. I mean, the shorts that go down to the ankles? Yeah, those. I guess they look cool. I'm told they do. I don't know. Although now when you look back at the basketball pictures from the mid-'80s, you see the short shorts and you go, you know, that's not so great either. Maybe somewhere in between.
I've got some high school basketball pictures at home that I try not to show anybody.
Brian Henry will be contacting you for pre- and post-game shows. Do a segment on BB shorts.
We wore Daisy Dukes before they were popular.
1-1. There's the strike, a ball and two strikes.
Baseball is the only sport where the manager or head coach actually wears a uniform, right? I mean, basketball coaches don't, football coaches don't.
And I believe that it is in, because he used to go back, of course, Connie Mack wore the suit and tie for a long time and the famous straw hat, but any on-field personnel, I believe is the phraseology in the rule book, has to have a uniform. In the hole, it's short. Chris Owens plants and throws. Myers, who can run, beats it out, and Kashner's off the bag, and they got him! Adrian Johnson calls Kashner out. He overran the base at second. And a break there for Ruby. Not much CO could do with that ground ball. Myers runs well.
First play to get to that ball short by CO had very little chance, and you could see Kashner rounded the bag, and when he tried to slam on the brakes, he lost his footing. I give a lot of credit to the D-backs defense, specifically Paul Goldschmidt. Just don't quit on a play. As long as there are runners on base and they're moving around those bases, the ball's live. He looked up, he saw Kashner on the ground, fired to second base. Aaron Hill was right in the right spot to apply the tag.
That's a single by Myers. Score the putout 6-3-4. Kashner out at second.
I mean, a lot of first basemen would have been content to come off the bag and just catch that throw from CO. Goldie turned it into an out at second base.
Keep an eye on Myers down there. He's already got 2 stolen bases this year. Now, Hervey Solarte flat out his first time. And a 3-hit game of the Padres win over the Giants on Saturday. And a guy that can play all over the field for Bud Black, the former Yankee.
Solarte can play all the infield positions, corner outfield spots if necessary. Talk about it all the time, and we've talked about the Diamondbacks' versatility. You just need a guy like that in the National League, especially if you're carrying 13 pitchers like the Diamondbacks are right now.
Bud Black, if you can play 5-6 positions, he'll put you at 5-6 positions the way he runs that team down there.
In one game, yeah. You might play them all in one day.
.95 misses inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Solarte has made 2 starts at second base, 1 start at first base. Last year, coming over from the Yankees in the Chase Headley deal, he played third, second, left field, even some shortstop. Hitters count here, 2 balls and a strike. Myers holds it first. That one, nice grab by Tuffy to smother that one and keep Myers at first.
And even though they didn't pick Myers off first base, another example of don't quit on the play. Tuffy fortunate to reach across and snare that one, and then just comes out firing to first base. Keep your head up defensively, know where the runners are. Great field awareness. And they didn't have a play on Myers at first, but just an example of Tuffy's wherewithal back there behind the plate.
3 balls and a strike. In the air, right field. Trumbo will play it off the wall. It's Inciarte. They will wave Myers. Here's the relay. And it's a 4-2 ball game. Now the Padres get a 2-out RBI hit.
Thank goodness for that Cashner out at second base. Otherwise, this would be a bigger inning for the Padres. Solarte showing some power here to the deepest part of the ballpark out there in right center. Nice relay, but Will Myers really motoring around those bases, scored without a slide.
RBI double for you on Hervey Solarte. Trying to get out of this inning. Solarte at second, 2 down. Matt Kemp. Kemp flying out his first time. Kemp red hot right now. 6 hits in his last 10 plate appearances. 4 multi-hit games through his first 7. That's the most in the major leagues. And he has always hit well in this ballpark during his days as a Dodger. A .325 career hitter at Petco Park. 1-1. We'll be subtracting there. 50 pitches now for De La Rosa. 33 strikes.
There's been some D-backs killers in this National League West. Matt Kemp is one of them. 28 homers and an average of .305. Adrian Gonzalez we just saw in that Dodger series. Fortunately, we don't have to see those other 2 guys anymore.
Had enough for a while. Ryan Glenn Hoffman at third. 1-2. Ruby needs to be careful. We've seen the ball for some reason here on a cool night carry out, especially to right center field. He gave up 2 home runs in that start Tuesday against the Giants. Posey and Crawford got him. Alonso has already gone deep tonight, and Solarte just missed one in the last at bat. Strike 3. He got him. They strand the runner at second. But the Padres get another run. Ruby De La Rosa brings up Kemp. It's 4-2 Diamondbacks. On second, the Padres have answered with one in the home half of the second, another in the third, so a 4-2 ball game as Tuffy Gozowish leads off the fourth against Andrew Kashner, who has retired 4 in a row. He's got at least 2 strikeouts, in fact exactly 2 strikeouts in each inning through the first 3. 6 strikeouts and a walk. A rough time of it for Kashner. Diamondbacks sent 9 men to the plate in that second, as he had a 32-pitch second inning. And it's rare that you get to Andrew Kashner in this ballpark. It's his first start at home this season for San Diego. He was outstanding at Petco Park last year. Right there, home ERA 1.70.
Right there with Tyson Ross, his teammate.
2-2.
Yeah, you would think that would bode well for the Padres moving forward. We showed you the numbers offensively last year in this ballpark, last in the majors in every important offensive category. If I'm a free agent pitcher, I'd have to think about coming to San Diego.
Why wouldn't you? Like you needed another reason. Sky to center. Myers broke back. Way up in the air, and that's 5 in a row set down by Kashner. Well, if it weren't for some injuries, Kashner would have qualified for the best home ERA in the majors last year. He was only able to make 11 starts at Petco Park last season, but in those home starts he put up a 1.43 ERA. And he only missed qualifying for that category by less than 6 innings. One more start, and he would have made it. Ruby De La Rosa. Ruby struck out his first time. Good example of just how good Andrew Kashner was here last season, with what was an anemic Padres offense last year behind him. San Diego won 8 of Kashner's 11 home starts last season, despite the fact he received a total of just 20 runs of support. Working without a net all year long. 1-2.
It looked like from his slip and fall out there at second base as a base runner, he got a little strawberry on his elbow there.
Take it.
Yeah, you see the dirt on the side of the uniform where he went down on his left side. Apparently that left elbow came down as well. Maybe on the slide. I don't know. That wasn't very pretty.
Slow tapper. Here comes Middlebrooks. Throws him out. So Kashner, after that rocky second, settling in, bidding for his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Here's Ender Inciarte.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Inciarte struck out looking to lead off the ball game. Had a 2-out, 2-run double in his last at bat. Banged it off the base of the wall in left field. Ender getting his second start of the season in center field. A.J. Pollock gets the night off tonight. Ender was in right field yesterday. He's already started games in all 3 outfield spots this year. What a valuable asset that is. It always seems, Bob, if you're talking about a guy who's trying to work into a major league roster somewhere as an outfielder, you have plenty of guys that can play corner spots, either or, but very few that can play all 3 and play them well, especially that center field area.
And that arm plays no matter which outfield position he finds himself in.
Night off for AJ. Trying to get all these guys at bats. Bounce to second right at Solarte. And Andrew Kashner is in the rocking chair. He has retired 7 straight. D-backs lead at 4-2.
just something that you have to want to do. I think catchers, to be a good catcher, you have to want to do it. And so if you take pride in it, I think and work hard at it, I think anybody could do it. But, it started in college when I didn't really have a choice. So, if I wanted to play, I had to do it. And, you grow and you learn to like it.
Boy, is he right on the money. It's something you want to have to do. You want to do it. You have to go out there and force yourself to block balls in the dirt until it becomes second nature.
Justin Upton leads off the San Diego fourth against Ruby De La Rosa.
I mean, your natural human survival instinct is to get out of the way of something going 95 miles an hour in the dirt. You have to tell yourself, I want to put my body in front of that. And Tuffy does it as good as anybody.
Because it is. He said you have to want to do it. You have to have the want. Hashtag want.
Yeah, there you go.
And we see Glenn Sherlock work with the catchers all the time, making them dive left, dive right, roll around in the dirt. Holds one foul down the left field line.
I mean, this game, it's not hard to get guys to come out for early BP. Hey, be here tomorrow at 1:30, 2 o'clock. We're going to hit early. Oh, yeah, fine. No worries. You tell a catcher, hey, be out here early tomorrow. We're going to put the gear on, and I'm going to shoot balls out of a pitching machine at 95 miles an hour and try to short hop you in the groin. Well, you've got to want to do that.
Third strikeout for Ruby De La Rosa. He gets Justin Upton. And Glenn Sherlock is the man that puts them through those paces. Handles the catchers here for Diamondbacks.
He's done it since day one. And I talked about it earlier this spring when we had Sherles on one of our spring training telecasts. He has mentored some of the best in the game over the last 15 years or so.
Derek Norris, the catcher, grounded out his first time. D-backs got 4 in the top of the second. Padres answered with 1 in the home half, another in the third, so it would be certainly nice to see Ruby get a nice clean 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow roller to short, Chris Owings. Nice scoop by Goldie at first, and those are the things with Paul down there that we take for granted. Saw A-Rod over there at first for the Yankees, had a very similar throw. In fact, it was from Didi Gregorius the other day, and went right through A-Rod. You just assume, Bob, that Goldie's always going to make that play.
Yeah, we're probably wrong to assume that, but you don't really appreciate a good defensive first baseman until you have a bad defensive first baseman.
2 down, Yonder Alonso hit a long home run his first time up. A hanger from Ruby, and Alonso belted it out to right center. First pitch swinging right to Goldie. He'll take it himself, and there is the 1, 2, 3, 4 for Ruby De La Rosa. Through 4, he leads it 4-2. A nice tidy 7-pitch fourth for Ruby. Arizona is brought to you in part by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, greatness in, greatness out. Now available at your local Fry's.
And welcome back to Petco Park. D-backs lead the Padres 4-2 here in the top of the fifth. Chris Owings set to lead off. Chip Hale talking before today's game about trying to get all of his infielders playing time. Said he didn't really want to play Chris Owings at shortstop, but it's close enough to spring training where Chris played some shortstop and, of course, the position we've seen him at so far this season, second base, where he felt okay with it. But he said he really does want to keep him at second so that he's comfortable both defensively and offensively, and just get him over there on that side of the field as much as he can. But we will see him, guys, at short at times.
Thank you, Jody. You see Jake Lamb in there at third most of the time, we're told now. Try to get that bat in there. That means Aaron Hill has to get some spots, and that means that they have to sort of have a three-man weave in there in the middle infield. And Chris Owings strikes out. That's now 7 strikeouts for Cashner, who's retired 8 straight. Brings up Goldie. He has walked, singled, and stolen a base. Talked to Chris Owings on our D-backs podcast during spring training, and he said he really didn't know exactly where he fit into this team defensively. There was some ambiguity there, and it looks like there still is as they try and rotate some guys through. Really, it's just a matter of seeing where things play out, he told us. Takes grounders at second, grounders at short, and he's comfortable either way. And in fact, Theo thought he personally felt like he made a lot of progress when he played second base last September. And he can bring a lot to the table playing at either spot.
His footwork has gotten so much better at second base. As you can imagine, moving from one side to the other, everything is like a mirror reverse image. And that footwork around the bag at second is a little bit tough for a shortstop to pick up when he moves over to that second base position. And initially, CO had some issues with the footwork, but he's figured it out.
1-2 to Goldie. 8 strikeouts for Cashner. Boy, Bob, both these guys, Cashner and De La Rosa, you know, they're consistent mid-90s. And when they throw that changeup, that off-speed pitch, the breaking ball, they get some big swings.
Well, it's just human nature for a hitter to want to get on that fastball, maybe start your swing a little bit early to make sure you catch it out in front of the plate. And when you do that, you become highly susceptible to sliders in the dirt, changeups in the dirt. We've seen Chris Owings and now Paul Goldschmidt both chase bad pitches in 2-strike counts.
Cashner now bidding for his third straight 1-2-3 inning after a rocky 32-pitch second. Peralta 0 for 2. Shift is on. He hits right into it and through it. A 2-out single for David.
Well, you can put 3 infielders over there, but you can't cover all the ground. And this time David just bangs one right through the teeth of that shift. So that was Ted Williams' theory, too. He didn't care if you shift. I'll just hit it right through it or over it.
I remember reading in the latest Ted Williams biography that Ty Cobb, listen to me telling stories about Ty Cobb, but Ty Cobb would get all over Williams. You got to hit away. You got to use the whole field. And Ted just couldn't do it. As great a hitter as he was, it's something that he said that he really struggled with. And eventually he figured out how to go the other way consistently. But even for a while, even him, he could not adjust. He was a dead pull hitter, and that was it.
There's a lot of guys like that in Major League Baseball. There's a guy, I mean, foul line to foul line. You want to talk about a player that you had to play everybody straight up in their position is Tony Gwynn, because he could take an inside pitch and jerk it down the right field line. He could take a pitch low and away and drive it down the left field line.
Trumbo knocks that one into left. A pair of 2-out singles for the Diamondbacks. And Cashner now at 90 pitches through 4 2/3. Art Trumbo 2 for 3.
quick bat, quick hands.
He looks really good.
He does. And I know he's swung through some high fastballs already this season, but he's also gotten on top of some of those high fastballs, and that's a great sign.
D-backs got 2 big 2-out hits in the second. And we'll see if Jake Lamb can come up with another one. Jake singled and scored in that second inning, struck out his last time up. Peralta, the runner at second, Trumbo aboard at first. Defense straight away for Lamb. It gets behind Norris. Peralta will get third. Always a very alert base runner.
Looked like a pickoff attempt at first. Watch Norris as he reaches across. He was turning his body into a position to maybe pick behind Mark Trumbo at first base. He just neglected to catch the baseball.
That's a passed ball on Norris, the catcher. He is, as Bob mentioned, an offense first type behind the plate. 2-0 to Lamb. They're on the corners now. There's a strike, 2-1, 94.
That's a good take. Even though that's a called strike, that's not a pitch you want to swing at 2-0. Down low and away, it's probably just going to be an easy ground ball. It wasn't even in the strike zone to begin with.
Well off the plate, Adam Hamari, the plate umpire. Two and two now. Well, Matt Kemp, after he was rung up on a called strike 3 to end the bottom of the third, was jawing with Adam Hamari through most of the commercial break. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Cashner and Lamb. Got him. 9 strikeouts for Andrew Cashner. He strands 2. He had retired 9 in a row. Peralta and Trumbo singles, but he rings up Lamb, and the Diamondbacks still lead at 4-2. Back this season with the D-backs 4-game mini plan. This is a great idea. You can choose from the biggest matchups. You can choose holiday games. Take Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July. You can choose big giveaway nights like bobblehead days and so forth at Chase Field. Choose any 4 games and design your own D-backs 4-game mini plan. You can do so online at dbacks.com. Will Middlebrooks up there with an 0-2 count against Ruby De La Rosa to open up the 5th. Middlebrooks, Amarista, and the pitcher's spot. 7-8-9 for the Padres. Diamondbacks have out-hit San Diego 7-4. They lead it 4-2. Middlebrook struck out his first time. Pitcher spot, as we said, due up third in the inning. Looks like Corey Spangenberg, who hit a walk-off homer against the D-backs in this ballpark last year, will take the at-bat, and there is activity in the Padre bullpen. Brandon Moore. Looks like Cashner's done. Adam Hamari not biting there. It's full 3-2.
Just missing off that outside corner earlier with a fastball, that time with a changeup. Pretty good discipline by Middlebrooks to lay off those borderline pitches.
De La Rosa has retired 4 in a row. He's got 3 strikeouts, given up 4 hits, including the Alonso home run. Leadoff walk.
While we have a moment here, let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the game. We've talked about the 15 new players on the 25-man roster, so the D-backs need to go to school. They're going to knock heads with this Padres team an awful lot this summer. You got to learn strengths and weaknesses of some new guys, how it all best fits together for Bud Black and the Padres, so go to school tonight.
Mike Harkey out to the mound. The first walk issued by Ruby De La Rosa, which is certainly very good news. Check the out-of-town scoreboard. Dodgers are back home at Dodger Stadium. They are tied up with the Mariners 5-5. Brandon McCarthy started this ball game for the Dodgers and gave up 4 home runs.
Ouch. Ball must be carrying up in L.A. tonight, too. Usually Dodger Stadium and Petco Park at nighttime are 2 ballparks you can't shoot them out of.
Nelson Cruz has hit 2 for Seattle. Seager and Ackley had the other 2 home runs. Puig has homered for the Dodgers. Seattle and L.A. 5-5 in the 6th. Alexi Amarista. Lamb in on the grass at third. There's strike 1. Puig homered yesterday. He's got another one tonight.
Yeah, he looked horrible the first game of that series against the Dodgers. He sat the second game. Came back and hit the home run yesterday, and speculated that perhaps he was about to heat up. Very streaky hitter, and usually once you hit one ball hard, you get that feeling and rhythm back. It looks like he's about to go on a tear.
De La Rosa ahead of Amarista, who flat out his first time up 0-2. Amarista had only 1 hit all season until a 2-for-3 day yesterday, and the Padres win over the Giants, including his first triple of the year. A little looper that's going to drop in. Middlebrooks will stop at second. A walk and a single to open up the Padre 5th.
You see Tuffy's target down and in. He just hung up there a little bit mid-thigh, inner part of the plate. Marista did not hit it hard, but he got enough with it to get it over Aaron Hill into right field, putting runners at first and second for the pinch hitter. No action, it's Cashner now. With 2 runners on, nobody out there, going to let him put down a sac bunt.
Cashner has thrown 95 pitches through 5 innings, 66 for strikes. He's got 9 strikeouts. We saw Spangenberg with a helmet on in the dugout, but it will be Cashner to take the at-bats. Corners well in on the infield for the D-backs.
That was a good decoy that time by Chris Owings at shortstop. He started to break for third base, giving Andrew Cashner the impression it was going to be the wheel play. So Cashner pulled the bat back and made a slash. That's what most teams do when the defense puts on the wheel play. The third baseman in a wheel play would charge. The first baseman charges. Shortstop breaks for third base. You see CO broke for third and then stopped. Cashner read it as a wheel play and pulled the bat back and swung away.
Wheel play, you're leaving second base unattended, right? The corners come in, shortstop covers third.
Yeah, and you're trying to get the force play at third base, and if not, the second baseman will be there to cover first, and you get the out at first base.
Well, nice to see Ruby if he can get out of this mess. The pitch count is relatively under control. Trying to hold on to a 4-2 lead. Pops it up. Lamb has room, but not enough. Nice run over there by Tuffy, who cleared the on-deck circle. And now Cashner's up there with an 0-2 count. 70 pitches for De La Rosa, 48 strikes.
Because of the pitch count, I'm a little surprised Bud Black didn't go to the pinch hitter in this situation anyway. Trailing by 2 runs. Cashner goes out in the next inning and has to struggle or work hard at all in the early part of the inning. He's probably coming out of the ball game anyway.
He will square to bunt on the 0-2 count. Goldie well in from first, and that's strike 3. 4th strikeout for Ruby, 1 down in the 5th. That didn't work.
That didn't work for Bud Black a little bit. Tailing, sinking, 2-seam fastball. Tuffy was set up off the outside corner. That ball tailed all the way back to the middle of the plate.
Middlebrooks is aboard at second. Amarista at first. 1 down for the leadoff man, Will Myers. Myers singled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 2. There's a strike, 0-1. Ruby, except for that hanger he threw to Alonso's, looked pretty good tonight.
Kind of a rolling slider that time to start the sequence, but you know, first pitch, most guys are up there looking for a fastball, middle of the plate in, something they could really turn on, so that one just froze Myers.
0-2. And then Ruby with his stuff. Good numbers for Myers, who saw De La Rosa in the American League East when Ruby was in Boston and Myers was in Tampa Bay. Ruby with his stuff, with that hard fastball, that power change up, the improving slider. If he can be in and around the strike zone, he can be very effective.
.88 on that last changeup. That's faster than any fastball Josh Comenter's thrown.
The power changeup,
yes,
right?
It is.
And when you throw that, you can double, triple up on it. As we talked about in our open, that is a big pitch for Ruby. That power change. One ball and 2 strikes. In the air, first base side. Goldie's got it right on the bag in foul ground. 2 down. So De La Rosa, a walk and a strike, a walk and a single, I should say, to lead off the 5th. Has got a strikeout and a pop-up. 2 down for Solarte. RBI double his last time up. Drove one at the gap in right center. .75 pitches, 52 strikes. He's only walked 1, given up 5 hits. Strike 1.
Once again on a first pitch, most guys looking fastball. He throws a high changeup, something you don't normally like to do, but you can get away with it on a first pitch.
You do have to be careful with Solarte, who's a switch hitter when he's up there from the left-hand side. There's a ball. Solarte better from the right-hand side. For his career, he's about 50 points better, in fact, as a righty. But most of his power comes as a left-hand hitter. And he's had a good start to the year at 350 plus. A ball and a strike. 2-1. Acquired from the Yankees last July, just before the deadline, in the deal that sent Chase Headley to New York. Switch hits, plays all over the field. Gets a piece of that one down and away at 95. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Ruby is a strike away from stranding 2.
And you'd love to see him do it on this 2-2 pitch. Don't want those runners in motion on a full count 2-out delivery.
Middlebrooks at second. Amarista with very good speed is at first. Yanks it foul down the right field line. Nice grab. High five.
Seen several nice catches on foul balls by the fans here at Petco already tonight.
Reaches down and drops it into center. They wave Middlebrooks. The throw from Inciarte is in at second, and it's a 1-run ball game. On Hervey Solarte, his second RBI of the night.
The living daylights out of his RBI double back in the third. Not the case here. Cues it right off the end of the bat. Sounded like he may have broken it just out of the reach of Chris Owings. Ender Inciarte with no play at the plate tries to throw behind the runner at second. Padres pull within a run.
And they have 2 on and 2 out for Matt Kemp, who's 0 for 2. Kemp struck out looking his last time. Strike 1. A.J. Preller, the GM, in the booth right next to us here, just to our right. This was his big acquisition, one of many as we detailed in our open. 10 trades in the offseason involving 38 players. And the former Dodger is here as a Padre. 0-2. AJ next to us, Bob. He is he's antsy to say the least, pacing back and forth. 25th pitch of this inning coming up. Here he is.
With that wall of monitors up there, probably 6 or 8 games going on at one time.
Oh, and 2 to Matt Kemp. 2 on, 2 out. Here it is. Brought Kemp here last December along with Tim Fedorovich, the catcher. Padres sent to L.A. Yasmani Grandal. Joe Whelan, minor league pitcher Zach Eflin, who was their first-round pick a few years ago. And now they have Kemp, 1-2. Cashner off the hook. Here's with James Shields, another big acquisition in the offseason. And Shields has been tremendous through 2 starts.
A slight delay here as Tuffy comes out in front of home plate to signal to the infielders where he's going to throw the ball should the Padres attempt a double steal.
And they have good speed. Amarista at second and Solarte at first. Runners hold, grounded to third. Jake Lamb. They get the force on Solarte, and that ends the inning. But A.J. Preller's Padres get one more, and through 5, the Diamondbacks have a 1-run lead. Arizona Fan Express brought to you by Cox Communications. This was the group that was at Chase Field over the weekend for the first bus trip of the year. The next one is coming up. It leaves from Tempe on May the 9th, and there is the schedule, one each month here, May, June, July, August. So get on the bus, Gus. It's the Fox Sports Arizona Fan Express. Great to have them there with us last weekend.
What a great way to get to and from the ballpark with some of your friends. I might take that one on the 18th from Scottsdale. Saturday night game against the Giants. Yeah, hitch a ride.
Cashner at 95 pitches through 5 is back out there to open up the 6th. Aaron Hill, Tuffy Gozawish, and Ruby De La Rosa the pitcher spot. 7, 8, 9 for the Diamondbacks. Aaron has struck out and grounded out 0 for 2. Bounced over the mound. Alexi Yalrista down. Were you a pacer? I was just watching. I mean, A.J. Preller is in the booth right next to us. I was watching him there in that inning, and we showed him pacing back and forth. How were you in the dugout as a skipper? Were you nervous, Nelly?
I got nervous from time to time, but I wasn't much of a pacer. I had things I would do, sit behind the screen there in the dugout at Chase Field, and certain fingers in certain squares, and if we scored a run, I had to go back to those squares. It was more superstition than nervousness. I wasn't a pacer.
AJ's sitting down now, having a snack after his team added another run in the 5th. Diamondbacks with 4 in the top of the 2nd. Inciarte a 2-run double, Owings an RBI single, both with 2 outs. They got 4 home, but the Padres have added 1 in the bottom of the 2nd. Another in the 3rd and another in the 5th. So it was 4-0. It's now 4-3. And Cashner at 100 pitches. Tuffy lifts that in the air, right center field. Myers calling for it. 2 down.
Well, we have a moment. Let's take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. April 13th, 1978. Reggie Jackson hit a 3-run homer in the 1st inning. Well, the problem was they gave away Reggie bars that day at Yankee Stadium, and thousands of Reggie bars came raining down onto the surface, delaying the game for quite some time.
It's better than the smoke bombs they used to throw at Mickey Rivers out there. Remember that shot of the Mick out in center, peering with his glove over his eyes, looking out? And it looked a little something like this. Those were really good, the Reggie bar.
I never had one.
Oh, they were awesome. Chocolate and caramel, some peanuts in there. 25 cents too. You can't beat it.
Yeah, back in the day, they're probably about $4 now.
Oh, sure, yeah. Ruby De La Rosa will take the at-bat with 2 down and nobody on. There's the strike. Reginald Martinez Jackson. Slaps that one to Dave McKay at first. Kind of surprised they stopped making Reggie Barnes. They should have kept that going. Tapper over the mound. Amarista will charge. And Cashner works a 1-2-3-6. He's retired the last 4 he's faced. Diamondbacks lead it 4-3. San Diego, our Gila River game summary. The Diamondbacks have 7 hits, 5 of them coming along with a Padre error. In that second inning, they got 4 runs. San Diego has answered. Alonso hit a homer in the second. They got 1 in the third and 1 in the fifth, and it's a 4-3 ball game. But a big second inning for the D-backs. Ender Inciarte, a 2-out, 2-run double. Chris Owings followed, knocked one into right to deliver Inciarte with a 4th D-back run. It was 4-0, and now it's 4-3 with Ruby De La Rosa at 86 pitches, 60 for strikes. Back out there to open up the 6th after a 27-pitch 5th for Ruby. Justin Upton, Derek Norris, and Yonder Alonso, 4, 5, and 6 in the Padres 6th. Upton 0 for 2. He has grounded out and struck out. Brad Ziegler will start to get loose in the Diamondback bullpen. Andrew Cashner. His night is over. Big swing and a miss. The off-speed stuff and the breaking balls have been very effective for Ruby tonight. Cashner, 4 runs, none of them earned. Now, and Hervey Solarte had a key error in that second inning when the Diamondbacks scored 4 times. He walked 1, he struck out 9. This is inside. It's even 2-2.
I'll tell you, for the most part, when Ruby's missed, he hasn't missed by much. He's just off of the corner a little bit, sometimes down below the bottom of the zone just a little bit. It's not like he's spraying them all over the place. Has a little better idea of what he's trying to do tonight.
It looks a lot more sharp than he did in his Diamondback debut on Tuesday. He rings up Upton, And again, somebody is barking at plate umpire Adam Hamari. We saw Matt Kemp walk away, having an argument with the plate umpire, and now Justin Upton. Might have a case. 5 strikeouts for De La Rosa. Kemp was rung up to end the 3rd. Upton is called out to open up the 6th. There's Derek Norris, who's 0 for 2. But even with the help maybe of some borderline calls, I don't think there's any question, Bob, as you just said, and you were right on, that Ruby does look a lot more sharp than he did last week.
Absolutely.
One. Seems to be mixing up his stuff pretty well, too. That's a credit to Tuffy behind the plates.
Yeah, not falling into any kind of patterns at all. We've seen him throw fastballs in fastball counts. We've seen him throw changeups in fastball counts. Seen him start some of the Padre hitters with off-speed pitches. Really mixing it up well.
How much, when you're the catcher putting down the fingers, do you have to think about, as you see the speed differential there? That's a big one. How much do you have to think about the patterns that you may be establishing for the other team's hitters?
Well, you always think about that. I mean, you know the strengths and weaknesses of the opposing hitters. And
a little soft fly to left for Peralta.
First and foremost, you try to stay out of those hitters' counts where you become a little more predictable out there on the mound. But, it's kind of something that's almost second nature. As the lineup turns over a second time and then a third time, you remember how you got guys out or how they got hits against you earlier in the ball game, and you just want to make sure you don't repeat any patterns, put yourself into any counts where you're forced to throw a pitch that the hitter could possibly be looking for.
Turner Ward and Chip Hale going over the lineup. Here's Yonder Alonso, 1 for 2, hit a long home run in the 2nd. He got a hanger from Ruby, and he did not miss it.
I tell you, there have been times that Yonder Alonso looks like he's one of the best hitters in all of baseball, and in other times it looks like he's just absolutely flummoxed up there at the plate.
Good word, flummoxed. You've liked him for a long time.
I really did. I saw him play some great games against the Cubs when they were trying to play him in left field, which was a failed experiment. He's much more comfortable over there at first base, but I really thought this guy was going to be one of the best hitters in the game for a long time, and he may still turn out to be that guy.
It's been a couple of injury-plagued seasons for Yonder Alonso. He's played in only about 180 games over the last 2 years. Another hard hit ball by Alonso, and that one is foul. 2 years ago, Alonso was hit by a pitch on his right hand. He suffered a fractured metacarpal bone. And even when he returned, the hand just nagged him and nagged him. He hit only 6 home runs. And then last year he played in only 84 games, again bothered by right wrist and hand tendonitis, wound up needing surgery to repair a torn tendon in the top part of his right forearm. And these types of injuries, I mean, you can just wipe out years for a hitter, and that's essentially what happened to Yonder Alonso. He finished last year with only 27 RBIs, but he is back this season and healthy. And he's got a full count with De La Rosa at 100 pitches, 67 for strikes. Here's the 3-2. Bounce to second. Aaron Hill. And Ruby De La Rosa works a 1-2-3-6. A good night for Ruby here. And here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. When we come back, Ender Inciarte with a big 2-run double leads off the 7th. Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Tire Pros. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit one of the 22 locally owned Arizona Tire Pros locations. And by Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. San Diego, California. We're at Petco Park where the Diamondbacks lead the Padres 4-3. D-backs have had 7 hits, but only 2 of them since the second inning. Trying to get something going now with Andrew Kashner out of the ball game. This is Brandon Maurer, the former Seattle Mariner. Made his Padre debut Saturday in a game against the Giants here. Worked a scoreless inning, had 2 strikeouts. Last season in Seattle, appeared in 38 games, 7 starts, and put up an ERA over 4.5. Ender Inciarte, a 2-run double in the second. He's 1 for 3. He leads off the 7th. Ender getting the start in center field tonight in the leadoff spot. A.J. Pollock is off. Trying to get this one home for Ruby De La Rosa, who pitched himself a nice ball game tonight. Lifted along the left field line, but that one is in the seats and out of play. It's 0-2. Over the mound, bounced up the middle and into center. Inciarte on base again, and he'll head for second. And he's in there. Ender Inciarte. A slow roller out there to center field. It was between Myers and Kemp. Ender saw an opening and he flew through.
Well, that's just great awareness. You get an outfielder moving away from his throwing hand. Ender knows being an outfielder, that's tough to gather yourself, get your shoulder pointed back toward the target and make an accurate throw. So Ender never broke stride. Ends up at second base with a leadoff double.
His second double tonight. And his 3rd of the year. And we've talked about, and everyone has talked about this winter. Well, okay, they got a nice outfield there. They can all hit, but what about the defense? And defense is often an accumulation of little things. It's not the horribly botched ball in the outfield that you see occasionally. It's more little things like that. So a chance to get an insurance run. And here's Chris Owings with Inciarte at second. Defensive runs saved. The analytic we talk about all the time. It's the best way we have right now to measure defense. It uses a very complex formula, but you can see the difference here. Last year versus this year. Matt Kemp was just about the worst defensive outfielder in baseball last year, according to defensive runs saved. And Myers is really not a center fielder. And Justin Upton has never been a great defender. So all 3 out there, it could get interesting sometimes.
Boy, you bring up a great point. It's not always just errors. I mean, it's plays that you don't make that don't go in the book as an error, but you allowed the guy to advance 90 feet or you overshot the cutoff man. Just those little things that you kind of take for granted when you have a good defensive ball club, but they stand out like a sore thumb when you have a bad team.
And it's going to get interesting too when Melvin Upton, who they acquired from Atlanta along with Craig Kimbrell, when he comes off the DL. They've already moved Cameron Maben. They have Will Venable here from last year's team, but when they have both Uptons up and ready, then they're going to have to work on some kind of defensive situation out there. 2-1 to CO. Inciarte at second. Shows bunt again and gets it down. Ender heads for third. He'll make it. And Middlebrooks has 1 play. Owings moves the runner along. He's at third now with 1 out. 5-4 on the sacrifice. Here comes Goldie. He has walked and singled.
I got to tell you, partner, I've been so impressed with Chip Hale and some of the things he's done as a skipper already in the early going this season. Showed bunt on the first pitch and took it off and gave CO a pitch to possibly drive through a drawn-in infield and then put it back on to advance the runner on to third base. I always thought that was a valuable offensive weapon. Show bunt, get the defense up close, and then take the bunt off and let a guy swing away and try to drive it through.
Aaron Bowlesley, the pitching coach out there for the Padres, and there is the skipper. And there is certainly a different vibe and a different approach down there with the way things are running. So Inciarte is at third, 1 down for Goldie. That's a big run standing 90 feet away. And a one-run ball game here in the 7th. Up the middle, Amarista has one play. Ender scores, 5-3 D-backs. RBI for Goldschmidt. How about that, BB?
Yeah.
The bunt moves him along. The ground ball gets him home.
You got to give a lot of credit to Ender Inciarte for his trip around the bases that time. Aggressively took second base, moved to third on the sac bunt, and then got a great jump on that ground ball. Once again, you had a defender moving to his left away from his throwing arm. Ender took the chance and scored easily. And he got everybody 3 crunchy beef tacos. What a trip.
Sometimes you gotta live mas. Here's Peralta. I wonder if can we cash in on that here and get some fish tacos?
Why not?
We'll try tomorrow.
I mean, he wasn't necessarily going on contact. I think when he saw Amarista take that first step to his left, that's when he broke for home plate.
The accumulation of little things. The extra base taken by Ender Inciarte. The successful bunt by Chris Owings. The ground ball by Goldie. It delivers a big insurance run. Peralta down 1-2. Boy, that guy brings an energy level. So valuable. And Chris Owings getting a little potassium fix there as well. Knowing Ender with what we saw earlier, he may try and interview Owings with that banana.
Yeah.
Talk into the banana, please. Peralta stays alive. He is a difference maker. There's Mark Grace. Pat on the shoulder from Gracie. It's full now, 3-2 to Peralta. Trumbo on deck.
You know, I get it. I understand why CO's having a banana. That's it's not like he's eating a hot dog in the dugout or something, but I never like to see that. I don't like to take a shot of the dugout and see guys like they're at a picnic, you know. You want to have a banana, you want to recharge your potassium levels, go down the tunnel and power slam a banana and then come back up on the bench.
No, that's a funny thing to kind of...
Well, we have taken shots at the dugout where it was either a power bar or a Reggie bar. I'm not sure. You know, guys over there, you know, they're not playing. They're munching on snacks.
3-2 pitch. Off the middle and into center. Second hit tonight for Peralta. And they have a base runner now for Big Mark Trumbo. Trumbo's got 2 hits already himself.
All right, back up the middle. Beat the shift in his last at bat back in the 5th inning. Drove one through the right side. That time just made it easy. Find the hole and hit a ground ball that direction.
Inciarte 2 for 4. Peralta 2 for 4. Trumbo 2 for 3 as he steps in here. Bang one off that big new scoreboard out there in left.
Ooh. Pitch out over the plate and down there. Real good extension. You see that foul ball go straight back over the shoulder of the catcher. You know he was right on it.
He's been hitting the ball hard lately, mostly for singles. But as Mark has said, his goal this year is get the ball up in the air. And when he gets it up in the air and hits it the way he can, it will go. There's a strike on the outer half. It's 0-2. D-backs have out-hit the Padres 9-6. They lead at 5-3 here in the 7th. Turner Ward. Bounced in front of Norris, and Peralta will stay put. The backup catcher here is our old friend Will Nieves, who yesterday against the Giants hit his first career grand slam.
The much traveled Will Nieves.
He was actually originally a Padre way back in the day. There's Will, former Diamondback catcher. bounced at short. They go a short way for the force, but the Diamondbacks get one more. We stretch at Petco. D-backs lead at 5-3.
Mobile game-changing player, it is Ruby De La Rosa. Tonight, 6 innings, 6 hits of 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 101 pitches tonight. Ruby on point tonight, and Chip Hill said he was looking for Ruby to do what he's looking for all of his starters to do, and that's get guys out early in the count. And Ruby was pretty efficient tonight, guys, in the first, 4th, and 6th innings with 1, 2, 3 innings.
You're right, Jody, and that's the perfect word. You're looking for efficiency from Ruby De La Rosa. With his stuff, if he can be efficient, he can be a handful. Brad Ziegler on to open up the 7th for the Diamondbacks, as Will Middlebrooks fouls that one off. We last saw Brad on a Saturday in the Archie Bradley game. He worked 2 innings, retired all 6 he faced. And this is interesting as well, Bob. You were just talking a moment ago about Chip Hale. Mark Trumbo made the last out of the top of the 7th inning, so Mark has had 4 at-bats. And now that you start the home half of the inning, you move A.J. Pollock, who is not in the starting lineup, into center. You move Inciarte over to right to replace Trumbo. And now, again, you're using your resources. You've got a very good defensive outfield up there.
Oh, absolutely. With a 2-run lead in the ball game, you want your best defensive team on the field late in the ball game. And as you mentioned, Trumbo made the last out in the 7th, so chances are he's not going to get another at bat in this game, and that's why you want Trumbo in the lineup for his bat. Now you want your best leather on the field, the guys that can make the plays.
And A.J., sure enough, the new guy is in the ball game, and Middlebrooks drives one to the gap in left center, and Pollock makes a nice running catch. We're just talking about that the other day. It always happens. It finds you right away.
The ball will find you if you're fresh off the bench. A.J. with a nice running catch over in that gap in left center, taking extra bases away. There ought to be a metric for that. Somebody has to keep track of guys coming off the bench and immediately having the first play hit their direction.
One away. Here's Amarista, who singled his last time up. 1 for 2. Pitcher spot is due up next for San Diego, and Corey Spangenberg, who had a batting helmet on in the dugout earlier in the ball game, is out in the on-deck circle this time, so he's made it 1 step closer.
Sneaking up on it.
Padre bullpen. Sean Kelly, the former Yankee, was out there. It's 1-2 on Amarista. By the way, A.J. Pollock, who's in center field, is now batting in the pitcher spot. Well, what was the pitcher spot? He's batting 9th in the order. Pitcher spot is now 5th for the Diamondbacks. 1-2. Tapper to third. Jake Lamb. 2 down.
Well, Brad Ziegler retiring the first 2 batters he faced here. The bullpen for the Diamondbacks has just been nails in the early going this season. Chafin, Ziegler, Delgado, Hudson, Reed. Yet to give up an earned run. Stellar walks and hits per innings pitched. And it's a good thing, because when your starters aren't getting deep in the ball game, as the Diamondbacks were not through the first couple series, you need that bullpen to step it up, and they were able to do so in a big way.
Spangenberg hits for the pitcher. Didn't see much action during the first week of the year. 1 hit in 6 at bats to start the season. There is the new bullpen, the relatively new bullpen, which they changed the configuration of a year or so ago. Now they got the double-decker bullpens out there in left center, like we see in Philadelphia.
And just like in Philadelphia, they put the visiting team closest to the fans. Now, the crowd here at Petco Park, a very well-mannered group. Not so much in Philly. You sit up there in front of those fans, and oh my goodness.
Well, all the Diamondback relievers will tell you that by far the worst one is San Francisco, where they don't have a bullpen. Right. And they're, I mean, you're right there, and they just let them have it. 2-1. I imagine it's no picnic at Citizens Bank either. That's not likely in Philly. You get a more rowdy bunch than that group.
Oh yeah, you get about 100 associate pitching coaches that will help you with your mechanics, tell you where to put things,
and sometimes not even pitches. And Brad Ziegler comes in, works a nice quiet 1-2-3 7th. To the 8th we go. It's 5-3 D-backs. Eighth inning in San Diego. It's a 2-run lead for the D-backs. And BB in the 7th, the Diamondbacks manufacture an insurance run, doing the little things. It's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool plays of the game.
It's about as cool as it gets. Ender Inciarte, very aware, very heads up, turns a routine single into a hustle double. Chris Owings, perfectly placed bunt to the third base side of the field, moves him up to third base, and then Goldie. Just another ground ball up the middle of the field. A great jump at third by Inciarte, and he scores without a base hit after his own.
Those are very cool plays. None of them really sexy, but they all worked. And how about that play by Ender to steal that extra base and turn a routine bloop single into a double. Jake Lamb leads off the 8th against the new Padre pitcher. It's the former Yankee, Sean Kelly, the right-hander. Last year, 57 games out of the Yankee bullpen, an ERA of 4.5. This is his 3rd appearance as a Padre. Had a rough time of things in his San Diego debut at Dodger Stadium. He gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, and only 1 1/3.
Yeah, like a lot of relief pitchers, just a 2-pitch mix, fastball, slider, pretty pure delivery Fastball appears to be very straight in the high 80s, low 90s. There's the slider off the plate, down and in.
Evan Marshall warming in the D-backs bullpen, so it looks like after Ziegler worked the 7th, Marshall would get the 8th, and we assume Addison Reed the 9th. 1-2 on Lamb. Hard hit, and he drops it down the right field line. It rolls to the wall, and Jake Lamb takes the turn. And he's in there at second with a leadoff double, so Lamb 2 for 4. His second double this season. 2 hits for Inciarte, 2 for Peralta, 2 for Trumbo, and now 2 for Lamb.
Kelly tried to go back to that slider again. This time Jake went down and got it. That pitch looked like it was down around ankle high by the time he made contact, but able to hit it hard and keep it fair down into that right field corner.
Aaron Hill. Aaron getting the start at second base tonight. It's Owings at shortstop. Nick Ahmed with a night off. Aaron 0 for 3 so far. Bouncer to the right side, and again the accumulation of little things. Hit it to the right side, moved that runner up 90 feet to third with 1 out.
And that's a tough ask right there for Aaron Hill, to drive the ball to the right side of the field to move a runner up. We've documented over the last 3 seasons he's a dead pull hitter. And for him to give himself up that way, drive the ball to the right side, allow Jake Lamb to move up to third, sets it up for Tuffy and A.J. Pollock here. I mean, that's a concerted effort to hit the ball to the right side of the field. Ideally, it gets through for a base hit and an RBI, but at worst, you move that guy up and set it up for your teammates. Very unselfish at bat.
And again, those Padres infielders will put their toes on the grass with Tuffy Gozowish up there. Ball 1 to Tuffy, who's 0 for 3. He reached on an error and scored a run in that 4-run Arizona second. All 4 runs given up in that inning as a result by Andrew Cashner, unearned. Add another insurance run, and Tuffy knocks it into left field. Here comes Lamb, and it's a 6-3 D-backs lead. Now this is a way to start a road trip. Tuffy, with the exception, and now I include tonight here, with the exception of 1 game, he's had a base hit in every game he started this year.
And really took advantage of that drawn-in infield. Had the Padres been playing back, that's probably a line drive right to the shortstop, but with the infield drawn in at the edge of the grass, it sneaks through for an RBI hit.
Tuffy's first RBI of the year. Here's A.J. Pollock, who is batting in the 9th spot. Checked into the ball game in the 7th inning to take over in center field. Inciarte moved to right, and Trumbo sat down. Mark was 2 for 4 tonight. AJ's hit safely in 3 straight. Had that big bases loaded 3-run double in the 9th inning yesterday against the Dodgers, but he's down 0-2. Diamondbacks have out-hit the Padres 11-6, and they lead it 6-3. 4 in the 2nd, 1 in the 7th, and 1 more here in the 8th. Jake Lamb, a single he scored in the 2nd, a double he scored in the 8th, 2 for 4. You know, it really is a game changer with Lamb's bat in there, Bob, especially from the left-hand side and hitting 6th, because you have that right, left, Goldie, Peralta, Trumbo, Lamb. It extends the heart of that order down into the lower portions of the batting order and just gives you a little more length in the middle there.
Yeah, not just only a left-handed bat, but a left-handed bat with power potential, a guy that could hit the ball out of the ballpark if you make a mistake.
2-2. Crenshaw having a look. Ryan DePanfilo right there. Training staff of the Diamondbacks.
You hope that's all they have to worry about this year is fixing guys' gloves.
I have both fingers and all my toes crossed after last year. Holy Toledo. Diamondbacks last season, 15 players on the DL. They missed a total of more than 1,300 days, the second most in the majors behind only the Texas Rangers.
That's his backup glove. The backup glove always looks brand new, and the game glove always looks like it's beat to death. But you get a comfort level with the glove, and you use it as long as you can until you can't stitch it together anymore.
Tuffy off with a pitch, ball 4 to AJ.
Nice at bat.
He was down 0-2. Hey, fans, bring the whole family to the ballpark this summer with the D-backs Value Pack. For only $19, you will get a ticket to the game, a Subway sandwich, a Pepsi, and a coupon for a free cookie. The Value Pack is available for any D-backs home game this year, and you can get them right now online at dbacks.com/value. There's Jim Weber, always looking for a value. The glasses. Every time we're in San Diego, Webby's here.
Or Chicago.
Ender. Strike one. Ender 2 for 4. A pair of doubles. He's got 2 RBIs. He scored twice. We talk about production from the leadoff spot. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. That'll work. Drives it to right center. That gets down, and it will roll to the wall. Here comes Gozawish. Here comes Pollock. And there goes Inciarte for third. Ender Inciarte, his 3rd hit tonight. All 4 extra bases, and it's 8-3 D-backs.
Perfectly split that gap in right center field. Just because you're the leadoff hitter doesn't mean you hit leadoff all the time. Occasionally you're going to find yourself in RBI situations, and Ender this time looks for a pitch to pull and splits that gap we've been talking about all night. Padres giving him a ton of room in right center and down the line, and he makes him pay.
Look at him go. 2 doubles, a triple, 4 RBIs. He's scored twice. And he's standing at third with 1 out for Chris Owings. And again, the Padre infield will come in. Now 8-3 Diamondbacks. Popped up. Shallow right. And Ender will hold. Kemp is there, 2 down. Paul Goldschmidt.
Number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldie walked in the first. He singled in the second. He's 1 for 3. Had an RBI ground out his last time up. So he is 2 hits shy of 500 for his career. Evan Marshall still throwing in the D-back bullpen. Kelly cannot find the strike zone. 3-0.
I don't think he wants to find the strike zone. Yep. Very similar to Goldie's first at bat in this ball game when Andrew Kasher just didn't give him anything near the plate. I don't think Kelly wants to even challenge him at all.
Well, Frank Garces, a left-hander, has been warming for the Padres. You've got the left-hand hitting David Peralta on deck. 91, 3-1. So regardless of the outcome, this is likely Kelly's final hitter. Throw that again. 2
Oh, he did. A little down that time. Just out in front a little bit. With Kelly's delivery and his frame out there on the mound, you'd think he throws a lot harder than he does. He's been in the high 80s, low 90s.
3-2 to Goldie. Ball 4. So Goldie aboard 3 times tonight. A single and a pair of walks, and Bud Black will go to the left-hander. Frank Garces coming in. Kelly exits. We'll take a break. It's 8-3 D-backs. It's game 2, D-backs and Padres from here at Petco Park. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Diamondbacks live, the pregame show on Fox Sports Arizona. Jeremy Hellickson, his second D-back start against Padres Odrisamer Despaigne. Our GM looks a lot more calm than their GM, Stu. Scratching his head trying to figure out how to score more runs. Frank Garces, the left-hander, is on to try and close out this 8th inning. David Peralta will be the 8th man to hit in this inning. The Diamondbacks have 3 runs in. Peralta singles in his last 2 times up. He's 2 for 4.
Fastball, curveball combination from Garces. He does have a changeup. He rarely uses it. I would expect to see a lot of breaking balls here to David Peralta. He missed with that first one, left it up and in.
Peralta always seems to hit in this ballpark. He's hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games against the Padres and 7 of 8 at Petco. There's a strike, 1-1. I'm good. Are you familiar with Batting Stance Guy?
Yeah.
Gar Rines, who's a buddy of mine, he keeps texting me his analysis of all the Diamondback swings, as only Gar can. And what he loves about David Peralta is the lean back, and we've talked about that. Yeah. He said, now I don't know this. Let's see. David Peralta, this is a quote from Gar, that lean back and then he kisses the right hand just before the first pitch. I don't think he does it. Yeah, there it is. He does it on every pitch. The lean and the kiss, as Bill Raftery might say. And we'll have Gar on Diamondback Live pregame show at some point in the year. He was here hosting a Padres social media event at the ballpark tonight. But Gar has said he is available to do his routine and give you some Diamondback batting stances. So we'll have that over the course of the season.
Well, I've seen Gar a couple of times. Actually, once when my son was playing with the Cubs organization in Peoria, Illinois, I think it was Kane County. I went to a ball game and he was on the field imitating all the batters. And they were, the guy in the press box would throw a name out there. And he would immediately assume the batting stance of that guy. He was really good.
The players just love him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is a sensation in clubhouses, major league and minor league clubhouses all over the country. He's a California guy, so Gar's out here. Pitcher spot is due up next. Cliff Pennington in the on-deck circle. 2 on, 2 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 8-3 D-backs, a 4-run second and a 3-run eighth. And Ciarte at third.
Whoa.
He's halfway down the line. Middlebrooks well off the bag at third.
Yeah, with this shift, Will Middlebrooks is nowhere near the bag at third.
Holbein's lonesome down there, and Ender. He is always a distraction. Goldie takes off from first, and that's a yippee win. Called strike 3. So the inning ends, but the Diamondbacks get 3 more. Ender and Ciarte, what a night. 2 doubles, a triple. He has scored twice. He's got 4 RBIs, and the Diamondbacks have an 8-3 lead. Every weeknight, fans, don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1 with highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights at 4 on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The Kiss, another raftery here. 8-3 bottom 8, D-backs and Padres. That's right near the ballpark. Right where we stay downtown. The aircraft carrier is out there, right by our hotel, right on the water. Evan Marshall on to work the inning.
Third game of the season for Evan. With a lofty ERA due to 1 home run.
That was the Casey McGee homer, which I believe, hold on, is this still the only runs given up by this bullpen?
I think you're right.
Casey McGee homer in the opening series against the Giants off Evan Marshall. Here's Will Myers. Singled and scored in the third. He's 1 for 3.
You know, you think back to that pitch, it wasn't even a bad pitch. It was off the plate, inside and down. Just a nice piece of hitting by Casey McGee to get it in the air and just over the fence in left field.
Top of the Padre order in the 8th. Myers, Solarte, and Kemp. Oh, our producer, Bill Cochran, reminds me that we had A.J. Schubert and Oliver Perez gave up some runs late in the ball game yesterday. So. But still, the bullpen has been outstanding. There's that new video board in left field at Petco Park. Makes the ballpark seem smaller. It's so big. Myers gets a hold of one and blasts it to right center. And it one-hops the wall. Myers' second hit tonight. There's more the brown and gold. Leadoff man aboard. He's a hitter up there.
Left that ball up, belt high out over the plate. Myers' swing is more designed to pull the ball. He steps in the bucket a little bit, but that ball was up and out over the plate, got the barrel on it, and bounces it out of here into right center field.
Now on Hervey Solarte, 2 for 3. An RBI double in the third, an RBI single in the fifth. 7 hits now for San Diego, 12 for the Diamondbacks. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Speaking about batting stance guy, Gar Rines, and he's worked on a Will Myers stance. And of course, if you're going to do Will Myers batting stance, you can't have batting gloves, as you talked about earlier. Gar says when he asked Will Myers, hey, you know, why don't you wear batting gloves? Myers said he's never even tried them on.
Really? Boy, is that unusual.
He's got one of those padded gloves to run the bases with. You can see his fingers all taped up on that hand there, but he's never even tried batting gloves, he says. There's a ball, 1 and 2. Here's Will Myers.
Well, I've always done it ever since I was 4. So it's just something I've always done. It's just a feeling, a feel thing. Just a feel thing. It's just what I like to do. I've always done it.
Have you ever tried them at all in between?
Never one time. Nope, never done it.
There you go, Jody Jackson confirming the Gar Rines report that Will Myers has never even tried them. That's journalism right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jan Hervey Solarte. Myers on second after a leadoff double. If the Diamondbacks can hang on, they'll snap this Padre 3-game winning streak. Pops it up. Very shallow left field. Chris Owings wants it. 1 away. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrates 13 years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and a whole lot more. Visit MLB.TV for all the details. Pitch tracking widgets. That's always a tricky one. Matt Kemp 0 for 3.
Gotta be careful with those widgets.
Isn't that what the Jetsons used to manufacture? They were sprockets, spacely sprockets.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Kemp fans at an off-speed pitch, 0-1. George Jetson, Jane, get me off this crazy thing called love. Kemp hits through the shift. The Diamondbacks were shifted on the left-hand side of the infield, and Myers scores. It's 8-4. There was all kinds of room there. And that exactly right there, Bob, is what the Dodgers did to Clayton Kershaw Saturday that had Kershaw upset. They would shift with a right-hand hitter up there. And a couple of times, Diamondbacks hitters just sort of shoved it the other way. That's what Kemp did there for an RBI.
There you see the shift. That's second baseman Aaron Hill directly behind the bag and the runner at second base. A little bit of an inside-out swing. The best chance for a defensive play was Adrian Johnson, the second base umpire, and he got out of the way.
So Kemp an RBI and 1 for 4. Justin Upton is 0 for 3. He has struck out his last 2 times up. There's a strike, 0-1. Justin Upton has hit safely in every game this year, a 7-game hit streak to start the season, but 0 for 3 as he stands up there in the 8th. Marshall ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. In the final season of that 6-year, $51 million contract he originally signed with the Diamondbacks, Upton will be a free agent next season. Drops in. Kemp will head for third. There's the throw, and he is out of there. Matt Kemp really didn't make his mind up as he rounded second until it was too late. A little hesitation there coming off the second base bag, and that small delay was enough for Ender Inciarte to throw him out at third.
Well, that should have been an easy first to third advance for Sean Kemp, or Matt Kemp rather, if he's going hard.
How about that throw?
Oh man, right on the money. We talked about Ender's arm playing at all 3 positions, especially right field, where you have to make the longest throw to third base, and he put it right on the money for the out.
9-5, the put out at third for the second out in the 8th. Upton a single. It's Norris now, the catcher, 0 for 3. Boy, that guy has had himself a night, Ender Inciarte. Holy cow. So Upton extends his hitting streak to start the year. He's hit in every game this year. 2 down for Norris. There's a strike, 0-1. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Norris has got off to a very good start. There's the discussion. Dave Roberts, Padres coach, talking to Matt Kemp. Norris a good start with the Padres. Hit .320 during his first week after the trade from Oakland. Waves at that when it's a ball and 2 strikes. He's already got 3 multi-hit games in San Diego, but he's 0 for 3 tonight.
Got a good result that time. Just blew a high fastball right by Derek Norris. But Marshall leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone here tonight. Tuffy's tried to encourage him. You see him pointing at the ground right there. Get it down. Get it down. Finish your pitch. There you go.
Well, you called it. He chased that one in the dirt, and the Diamondbacks are out of the inning. We will go to the 9th inning. Padres get one back. It's 8-4. Living the gig life at Petco Park in San Diego. What a night for Ender Inciarte. Look at our Cox Gig Life high-speed highlights. Inciarte, 2 doubles, a triple. He has scored twice. He's got 4 RBIs. He's had an outfield assist. Am I leaving anything out?
A couple of great base running plays. I mean, he's done it all tonight.
Tell you what, he started the ball game in center in the leadoff spot. He's just so effective in that leadoff spot. Pitcher spot is up. It's 5th in the order to lead off the 9th, and Nick Ahmed will hit for Evan Marshall. Garces, the left-hander, still in there for the Padres. Nick had a couple of hits in yesterday's game against the Dodgers at Chase Field, and they were both hard-hit balls belted back up the middle into center field. So it's Ahmed, Lamb, Hill, 5, 6, and 7 in the Arizona 9th. 0-2. Back with you tomorrow for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Jeremy Hellickson against Odrisamer Despaigne. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30.
There's a chance we'll see Nick Ahmed stay in this ball game and play shortstop, bumping Chris Owens over to second base depending on where the inning ends. Aaron Hill is due up after Jake Lamb, who's in the on-deck circle. Talked about it earlier. You want to get your best defensive team on the field late when you have a lead.
Looper into center, but it's right at Myers. FoxSportsArizona.com. All your online local sports coverage you won't find anywhere else. There is an esteemed member of the Fourth Estate, Jack Magruder. He'll have all his post-game analysis and reaction from the clubhouse. And Craig Morgan examines the major issues facing the Coyotes in the offseason. All that and more right now on the interweb at FoxSportsArizona.com. Jake Lamb singled and scored in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 8th. You've heard of Jake from State Farm. This is Jake from the D-backs.
What are you wearing, Jake?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so. Got to get that ad campaign going. 3-0 on Lamb. Well, the D-backs, they won 12 of 19 meetings with the Padres last year. They have won 4 of their last 5 against San Diego. 6 of their last 10 at Petco Park as Lamb chases one upstairs. It's full. And a good start to the season series tonight. An 8-4 lead in the 9th.
Just speaking for myself, I would never think to speak for Chip and the rest of the team down there, but this always felt like a very comfortable road ballpark. You know, San Diego's a wonderful city. The weather's always going to be good. You got good fans here, but they're not the kind of fans that really get on you hard like a lot of other cities the Diamondbacks will travel to. It's a wonderful field. Pitchers love it here. The Diamondbacks have always been very comfortable in this ballpark.
Yeah, we were talking about that when we showed the bullpens earlier. Quite a contrast between AT&T Park, where we play 4 later this week, and Petco Park, where we're at 3 for San Diego. Here's Aaron Hill, 0 for 4.
And I think once you've had some success, you know, you go into a ballpark and you feel real confident going in because you've had recent success in this ballpark, and it just carries on until somebody makes it stop.
Well, A.J. Preller is trying. He might have made 3 more trades during the game we don't know about. There goes Lamb. The throw from Norris is not in time. First stolen base of the year for Jake Lamb. You can run on Norris back there.
It looked like he just took off on Garza's first movement out there on the mound. The throw ballooned out there to second base a little bit. Really hard slide into second that time by Jake. Fortunately, he's okay.
8-4 in the ninth. Where is that fine line? You can never have a big enough lead, or all right, that's enough.
Well, I think that's going to be a topic of conversation as we move forward this year, since offense is down everywhere. You know, runs are at a premium. Yeah, I've heard different theories. 5 after 5, 6 after 6. You know, it depends on who you talk to. Sometimes it's a subjective thing. Who's stealing the base? I mean, Ricky Henderson was known to steal bases ahead or behind by 9 or 10 runs in the ninth inning.
Ricky gonna Ricky.
Ricky gonna be Ricky. I guess my way of looking at it is, if the pitcher's going to pitch out of the stretch and they're going to hold you on at first base, hey, it's fair game. If you can get a jump, take it.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Hill. Second strikeout for Garcia's, 2 down.
Big sweeping breaking ball. He calls it a curve. I would more call it a slurve. Yeah, it doesn't really have straight downward movement. It kind of works its way across the plate and down at the same time. Kind of in between a curveball and a slider.
Tuffy goes a wish. An RBI single. He scored a run his last time up. I go back to my friend Gar Inez, the batting stance guy. And he's got Tuffy up there. And Gar has got some qualifiers here when you consider batting stance, swing, the jersey. He's got Willie Bloomquist as a comp for Tuffy Gozowish. Just in the way they look up there.
That's probably a good call. We'd have to dig up some video of Willie, but yeah, I think they're pretty similar.
Speaking of Willie and the Mariners tied up right now at Dodger Stadium, 5-5 in the 10th. Brandon McCarthy started that game for LA, gave up 4 home runs. A pop up to Solarte. That sends us to the bottom of the ninth. Daniel Hudson coming in. Diamondbacks lead at 8-4. Daniel Hudson, his long road back from 2 Tommy John surgeries on that right elbow, and his long-awaited return to this mound at Petco Park last September 3rd here in San Diego. 1 scoreless inning, his first major league appearance since June of 2012. It had been more than 2 years. And now here we are back at Petco Park, and it's a whole new world for Daniel Hudson.
Boy, in a season that had very few highlights, for me, that was by far the best one. If you know Daniel Hudson at all, he's a very easy guy to root for. All he had been through, the 2 rehabs, to see him back pitching in the major leagues once again last year, it sent chills up and down your spine.
His first appearance on a major league mound in nearly 800 days. And now here is what we hope will be just routine. Daniel Hudson out of the Diamondback bullpen. Defensively, he did exactly what you thought, Bob. Chris Owings moves over from shortstop to second base. Nick Ahmed takes over at short. And the Diamondbacks will put on a slight shift against Yonder Alonso, who homered back in the second.
Yeah, how much you shift on a guy defensively, a lot of it is dependent on your pitcher on the mound. If it's a guy that throws extremely hard, maybe you don't shift quite as much as you normally would for a soft tosser.
Alonso 1 for 3. The homer in the second, his first of the year. Daniel Hudson last season only worked 2 2/3 innings for the Diamondbacks. A reminder, Diamondback Live postgame show follows our ball game here on Fox Sports Arizona. The hope this year for Huddy is somewhere between 80 and 100 innings out of the bullpen. And then in 2016, once he spent a year building up that shoulder strength and arm strength, then you start to think about Daniel Hudson again as a starting pitcher. 1-2 on Yonder Alonso. Mike Harkey, the pitching coach. Over the mound, Ahmed. One down.
What do we say about the new guy in the game? Even though Ahmed did pinch hit, he's a new defender out there. And of course, the first ball of the inning is hit to him.
I think when we do figure that out, we'll call it the Brenly metric.
It was happening long before I knew anything about the game of baseball. That's one of those things you talk to guys that have been around a game for a long time, and they'll tell you it's a fact.
Will Middlebrooks walked and scored in the fifth. He's 0 for 2. Well, I mean, what, we're a week into the season. We've already seen it, it seems, half a dozen times. As soon as you check into the game as a defender, the first one is coming right to you. 0-2 now. Huddy jumps ahead.
Just ask Juan Uribe.
Hello. And again, Middlebrooks steps out, has a discussion with Adam Hamari, who hasn't made a whole lot of friends on the San Diego side here tonight. Popped him up, first base side, fouled around Goldie. 2 down. Diamondback Live postgame show. A lot to talk about here from the ballpark. The half-hour edition, so stay with us as soon as we make that final out. And the Diamondbacks will be back above 500. They started the night a game behind Colorado in the NL West. They'll be 4-3 on the year, and they'll snap a Padres 3-game winning streak. Here's Alexi Amarista. .94 from Huddy, and it's 0-2.
Boy, easy gas from Daniel Hudson. He just doesn't look like he's working real hard, kind of a slinging action. Ball just exploding out of his hand.
Down the right field line, and that ball is foul. Bill Miller, the crew chief, was right on it down that first base line.
After throwing a couple of fastballs right by him, he kind of sped up his bat that time with a breaking ball that didn't quite get to the spot. Fortunately, Amarista pulled it foul.
Well, he's the shortest player in baseball at 5 feet 6 inches tall, but he can still get a hold of one from time to time.
And that's a place where you can get some cheap homers. Probably the only place you can get cheap homers in this ballpark, right down that right field line.
Another 0-2. Shoots it the other way. There's Peralta, and the Diamondbacks win it 8-4. A good start to this road trip and a great start to the season series with the Padres, led by Ender Inciarte, who had a sensational night in the leadoff spot. 2 doubles, a triple. He scored twice and drove in 4.
A big night for Ender Inciarte, and the offense kind of gets lost in the shuffle. The Ruby De La Rosa was really good tonight, much more efficient with his pitches, really good stuff, a good sign for the Diamondbacks.